So basically, yeah, and he was like threatening to kill his brother. I thought you died. I didn't know what to tell Nan. You can't go home. But like she stopped me as we were walking out. What's going on? Like, Kyann, where the hell are you? That wasn't really worth it. Hey, what's up? Hello YouTube. And today I'm going to be playing this new game called What's Your Score? Basically I made it up. You know how you always see these, right? And they say they've done it right, but have they even explained what happened when they did it? Huh? No? So basically I'm going to be answering these 3 questions and let's just see what happened.
Shut up, no, you're my favorite and mine. Warming up for you outside, baby.
First question is, have you ever lied to your parents? Technically, I'm just gonna say I've lied to my grandparents. I dated this guy one time and he had some friends that had a car. They're really like adventurous, I should say. They like drifting and like all these crazy stuff. And so one day I was having dinner with him and my sister at my house, and then he was like, do you want to go for a drive? And I was like, I don't want to die. And then my sister was like, what? Are you gonna go? And I was like, no. And then he was like, please, please. And I was like, I don't want to die. And he's like, I'm not gonna die. He's a good driver. He's good. I was like, I don't trust him. I don't know. And then my sister's like, Kyann, don't do it. Don't do it. And then I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, But I was like, okay, fine, let's just do it. Let's just go have some fun. We're at dinner, and then my sister's like, are you actually gonna go? You might die. And I was like, I'm not gonna die. I was like, be fine. And then she was like, I'll cover you for you. Okay? And I was like, okay. And I was like, I'll be back around 9 o'clock, okay? So if I'm not back, then be worried. But I'll be back by 9. I was like getting ready, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so nervous. We're gonna die. Like, we're gonna die. And then he's like, no, we're not gonna die. He's such a good driver. I'm not even gonna do much. We'll probably just go to Kyann, which is like this town like 30 minutes away. I was like, okay, then so I got my money. I was like, okay, let's go shopping. Like, I'm that person who doesn't have excuses for like sneaking out. So if I want to go somewhere, I'm just gonna walk out the door. So basically what happened was walking out the door with him, and like we just finished dinner. And my nan was like, where are you going? And I was like, we're just walking to his house cause I'm gonna drop him off or something. I don't know what the excuse was, but like she stopped me as we were walking out. And then we're walking down the road and it's like spitting. Oh, I know. She was like, grab your rain jacket. So I did. Didn't need it because I was gonna be in a car, but hey, she thought I was walking. We were walking down the road and there's like this intermediate nearby. We stood there and we waited for him there. That was like our checkpoint location thing where he was gonna find us. He turned up, like, turns up, and his girlfriend's in the car as well. And then I get in and I was like, can you not kill us? Like, he just like looked him in the face and said, can you not kill us? Like, and I was so scared. I was like holding the guy's like hand, like, I'm so scared. I was terrified. Oh yeah, I think I have footage. Like, if I have footage, let's put some footage in. I remember we went down like a few streets and there was a cone, and the guy I was with, he grabbed the cone through the window. Like, what the heck? And I'm sitting here, I was like, who's got a cone? And then I was like, I'm gonna die. I was scared. We just drove around the town. It was kind of boring, and like the driver was like, where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? And we're like, I don't know. And so basically we just drove around, and then he went to this place. He was gonna do some skids, right? And like I was scared so much, and it was scary, but I survived. It wasn't even bad. It was just like I don't know. It was bad. It wasn't bad, but yeah. So then I was like boring, and then we're like, this is like freaking like 20 minutes, right? They're just driving around, and then he's like, oh, do you want to go home now? To me, I was like in my head, but I didn't say that, but I was like, okay. And then we like went past my house. I was like,
oh wait, no, it's too early, and my dad's gonna be like, why are you back?
So I was like, oh no, I would just go to his house. So I ended up going to his house, And I don't know what we did. I think we just watched a movie, right? So like watching like heaps of movies. I think we're watching Netflix or something. And then like I was like scrolling through my phone, and then I see my sister added me on Snapchat. Right? She added me on Snapchat, and I was like, oh my god! And it, like, cause I'm pretty sure she was looking at my phone too, and like we both saw, we looked at each other like, oh, like, cause it was past 9 o'clock, and I was like, oh my god, I didn't tell her. So I add her on Snapchat, and I go to her story, and I watch it, and this is what comes up. And I'm like, oh my god, I am so sorry. She literally thought I died. Like, she thought I died. I texted her, I was like, I'm okay, I'm safe, I love you, like, I'm not dead. And she's like,
oh my god, I thought you were dead. I was crying and I wanted to talk to somebody.
and I was like, I'm not dead, I'm so sorry, honey. I was like, I'm not dead. Anyway, I ended up going home, like, probably, like, 2 hours after that or something. And I go home, and she, like, hugs me, she's like,
I didn't know what to tell Ned.
and I was like, I'm back, like, I didn't die, I'm glad you didn't tell Ned anything, because, like, how I, like, said I was at his house, even, I was at his house, okay, and I was like, it was dumb, I didn't even get into trouble or anything, like, like, no, I wanted to get in trouble, but, like, I didn't get into trouble or anything, like, it was really boring. And she was like, oh, that's okay, that you're safe. And I was like, yeah, I'm alive. So yeah, that's basically the story about how my sister thought I died, and I'm actually alive. So yeah, if you like hearing these story thingies, then thumbs it up, because I'm going to carry on to the next one. So the next question is, have you ever snuck out? And I guess that kind of relates. And yeah, I did sneak out, and it was related to the first, like, the guy in the first story. I snuck out to see him. So what basically happened was, me and him were gonna break up. And he was gonna break up with me over text, but I'm that person who's like, nah, that's it, nah. So basically he was like, yep, fine, I'll say it to your face, you come right here. And I was like, aha, I will come here. Got dressed and like in like a shirt, because it was like cold outside. I think I even put a jersey on. Like, he had like heaps of jerseys at my house, and I was like gonna take them because he wants to break up with me, he can have it back. So basically I took his jerseys, I took this necklace he got me. I don't know why I'm still wearing it, I'm such a little I don't know why I'm still wearing it, but I should probably burn it. It's cute, isn't it cute? Yeah, only thing he got me ever. No, I'm kidding. So basically what happened was, I snuck out, jumped the fence, jumped my fence. We have security cameras at my house, but my grandparents, I don't think they've seen it because they're old. Not really old, but yeah. And so basically I snuck out, I was running to his house, and the whole time I was like, I feel so relieved. Like, I have never told anybody that when I ran to his house, like trying to save us from breaking out, that I felt really relieved that like we were gonna break up, which was so weird. And have this in mind that when we were gonna break up, it was on like our anniversary. Not that we were like together for every year. I arrived at his house, and I had all his jerseys. I took the one off, and I was like organizing them on his deck kind of thing, like his stairs. And then he, like, I could see him in the hallway, and he went to like this other room, and it was his brother's room, and he was like looking at me through the like window, and he didn't know I could see him, but I could see him. And then like I put like the necklace on top and stuff, and I went to like open the door, like walk towards it. He opened it and he came out. The whole time when I was going to his house, I was thinking, maybe I'll say this, maybe I'll just faint on his doorstep, maybe I'll just cry, maybe I will like say no, maybe I'll just go with the flow. And so basically when he opened the door, I don't know what to say, so I was just standing there like, bruh. I don't know what to say. He opens the door and he says, I can't. And I was like, in my head I was like, what do you mean you can't? And he's like, I can't. And I was like, I was like, what? And he's like, I can't. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I can't break up with you. And then he hugged me, and then it was like saying I love you and stuff, and I was just like crying because I'm a little baby. And we sat on the step outside his house, and then I was like having a little sook because I was like gonna get broken up with, because yeah, uncle comes out and he breaks this awkward kind of silence kind of thing, because we're just like sitting there, I'm crying, he's like hugging me, and there's like no words. His uncle comes out and he's like, who's that? And then he's like says my name, Kyann, and then I look at him and then he's like drunk. And then he's like saying he's gonna drive home, and I was like, do you think it's safe for you to drive home because you're like drunk? And then he's like, I'm not drunk, look at this. And he's like balancing and he's like I don't even know how to explain it, but he was like going like this and like touching the doorbell with his foot, and I was like, maybe he's not that drunk if he can do that. And he shouldn't drive home drunk. His dad came out and then he was like, why are you here? I was like, I was just crying. And he's like, come. And so we went to the back of his house, like where his dad was, and they were drinking. He's like, are you okay? I was like, yeah. And I was just like, yeah, I'm okay. Okay. And then he's like, you sure? And then like his mum finds out. She's like, come here, come here. And I was like, ugh. So I go to her. She's in her bed, and I sit on her bed, and then she's like, what's wrong? And I'm just sitting there crying like a little baby. And she's like, is he being a dick? And I was like, and I look at him and he's like, she's like, what happened? And then like he sees the necklace in a box, because he like half paid for it with him, so he sees it like in a box like on the cabinet where he's like holding it on it, right? And she's like,
why do you have her necklace? He's like, what's going on?
like, and she can see the jerseys as well. She's like,
what's happening?
and then he was like,
We're gonna break up.
and then she was like, she gives this whole thing on like our relationship. She's like,
Well, you're only young, and if you don't want to be together now, then that's okay. Maybe you'll come back
so
later.
basically she gives a lot of relationship advice, and I just remember crying and my nose was running and it was bad. And I remember her like being like,
Can you go get some tissues?
I don't even think he did it, like I think I had to get it, and then she was like, you know, or something to him. I was like, oh my god. I was like laughing. But then I remember she was like,
You can't go home. It's too late. What's your name gonna think?
I was like, she doesn't think anything. But really just wait for my nan's reaction to this whole thing. So basically, I stayed there. They were like, slept on the couch. I remember we were like talking to like 4 in the morning, and we were like saying like,
I promise I'm gonna tell you everything, and I'm gonna be honest and everything.
The next morning, woke up from his brother, who was being loud. I couldn't burn it, but I was so tired because I slept till 4 in the morning. Yeah, and he was like threatening to kill his brother, which was kind of awkward, even though I was like agreeing with it low key. I was like, oh, kill your brother too. My phone was going off, and my nan, she was like,
Kyann, where the hell are you? Where have you been?
where are you? Like, she was like, your bed's not even slept in. I was like, I went to my boyfriend's like early in the morning. She was like,
No, you didn't. Your bed hasn't been slept
and I was like, yes it is, I made it. She's like,
in. No, you haven't. Blah, blah, blah.
and I was like, oh my god. And she's like,
No, I need you.
I was like, what? And she's like,
Like, they can't find anyone else to cover. You need to go.
I was like, what? And so I was like, I wasn't even rested on for that day.
I'm gonna get someone to come pick you up. You gotta come back and get ready for work.
And like, keep in mind, like, I was supposed to be at work by now, but so I have to come home, like, quickly throw everything together, and then like run out the door to my work. And when I get to work, everyone's talking like, oh, where was Kyann last night? Oh, where was she at? And I was just like, ugh. So basically, my auntie who works there, she was like,
Oh, Kyann. You know, next time if you want to ride, just call me and I will pick you up. Don't be walking around in the dark.
I was shocked. I just think that wasn't really worth it. 10 days later that we broke up, so like, hey, it probably wasn't even worth sneaking out or anything for. Probably should have broke up then and there. And the next one was when I got into a fight. Okay, so this story, it's like got to be when it basically me, my nan, oh, I can't count. So the story consists of me, my sister, and my nan and my cuddle. So one day I was watching TV on the couch and I had the remote and I decided that I wanted something to eat. So I walked to the kitchen and then my sister comes, sits on the seat and she's like changing the channel. I was like, so I come back. I try and get the remote. She's like, no, I'm watching my thing. I was like, I want to watch TV. So I grabbed to get the remote. She's like, no. And I was like, can I watch? I like grab it again. She starts kicking me in my like stomach and I'm like, and then I'm like reacting. I'm like, so we end up her. She's like kicking me right. And I'm like punching her. And then like she's down, just like straight like going for gold, like punching her face. And then she's like still trying to kick me. And I cuddle. He's like in a wheelchair. He's like coming in between us, and I'm like grabbing her. I'm like trying to get it in my hands, like get out of the way. And I was like, oh, it was like such a messy but like a funny fight. And it was like stupid as because it was over a remote. I was just like, that's stupid. But hey, that's just how most fights are, stupid. Question thingies, and those are all the things that I did. So if you liked it, like. If you want to comment some more video ideas, do it. Comment some songs too, because this girl always needs some songs. And subscribe for more. And I'm probably going to upload next Friday. I think I'm going to do Fridays now. So yeah, thank you. Go follow my Instagram and me on Snapchat. Bye!